Hello there, how are you doing? Now in this video, let's cover one more magic method, that is toString. Okay, so they are called magic method for a reason, because whenever you instantiate a class, they run automatically behind the scene. Okay, so let's try this one as well. So let me create this function, public function and double underscore toString. Okay, this magic method. So what I want to do is I want to just print out the same thing. In fact, why don't I copy this one? It's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be similar. So let me copy this because I just want to show you how these functions work. Okay. So let me change this name to toString. Let's try this method, toString. How does it work? It should return the title by author automatically, right? So we have instantiated this class, okay, and then instead of vardim, let's do echo. Okay, echo. So what we're doing is we're echoing the new instance of object. We're not saying that Harry Potter title or anything like that. We're just echoing the object itself. But because these magic methods run behind the scene, so as soon as it is instantiated, the result we can see. So if I echo the new instance itself and go to the browser and refresh, as you can see, Harry Potter and the magicians were ending. So that is the outcome of this function, toString. Otherwise, if you don't believe me, because this also has the same method, it is returning the same result. But if I comment this out, okay, and then let me refresh, as you can see, object of class book could not convert it to string, as you can see. But because we use this magic method toString, that worked awesome. Okay, so these are magic methods, they're pretty magical. Okay, so the one you would use most is construct. We use that. In this lesson, let me cover a few more topics. Okay, for example, we have this all these arguments. What if I don't supply the one of those arguments? For example, available. Okay, so as when I instantiate it, I pass the value of 10. Okay? What if I don't supply any value? What happens? Let's save this one. In fact, let's comma save and refresh. Okay, you get this error saying on-caught argument count error, too few arguments to function block. Okay, so that happens. Now we can prevent that using default arguments. Okay, so these things, arguments and type hinting, these topics also we're going to cover in this lesson. Okay, so default arguments, like you saw, if we forget to pass these arguments, we get the error. Now the solution is making the passing the default argument. For example, available, if nothing is passed, I can set to 0. Okay, so this is called default arguments. Okay, so this becomes super useful in time. Okay, so if you don't get any input from there, from the user or whatever, then you can use the default argument. But if it is supplied from there, that will take the precedence, and then this will be overshadowed by the one supplied. Okay, so if I set it to 0 and refresh, as you can see, we don't get the error and we get not available because it's set to 0. Now if I set to 0, but still if I supply set 10, this will be used and not the default one. Okay, so it's fresh, as you can see, not available, is gone. Okay, so that's one default argument is done. Another is type hinting, and this is super awesome. Okay, so when you get all these arguments, you can type hint by saying what sort of argument you want. For example, ISBN, you always want it to be integer, numbers, right? You don't want it to be string, because ISBN will always be integer. So what you can do is you can type hint saying int. Okay, so Same with the title, you know it's going to be string, it has to be string, right? So you can type hint string, author will be string, available will be int. Okay, I just need to put here int. Okay, awesome. Now let me refresh, it works fine, nothing has happened. But what if, because I have said it should be integer, but now let's say if I try to give string, for example, okay, let's say if I try to give string to ISBN, let's see what we get here. As you can see, on code type error, argument 1 passed to book must be the type of integer string given. As you can see, type hint helps a lot, especially for debugging. All right, so let me put it the way it was. Okay, so that is another thing. Type hinting is super useful. Now it's not just the string and integer type, we can type hint the class itself, and that is extremely powerful. So those topics will be covered in the future lessons. All right, so I'll see you in the very next video. Thank you.